What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of the Walker Review. It's your boy B-Walk, and I'm back here at IK Studios with my guy, the composer.
What's up, Metroplex? Your boy, the composer, comes out of Cedar, Texas. You know,
Cedar Hill, the hills, man.
The hills, yeah, man.
That's gonna be my first question. But Cedar Hill, how was it growing up in Cedar Hill and things like that?
So I was actually only attended one Cedar Hill school. Went to High Point Elementary for like 4th grade. I actually went to school in Irving. But I grew up in Cedar Hill, if that makes sense.
See, the thing is, I don't know much about the urban life. I've
Really?
only driven through it. Las Colinas is pretty nice.
That's right, yeah, bro. Las Colinas, bro, is actually my favorite place in this whole Metroplex area. Bro. I actually had an apartment out there for 6 months. Duh. And some of the songs from Heartbreak Suite were written in that. See? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
that's
man.
why you said Las Colinas.
The thing is, I had worked a job out in Las Colinas. I hated the job, but I was like, I just love being out here in this city, bro.
Yeah.
I can either go there, I can either go here.
Mm-hmm.
I was really about it, bro. But get the interview started off. You already tell me where you're from.
Yeah.
Cedar Hill, Texas. I'm born in Oak Cliff, but I spent a lot of time in like the Subtle, Duncanville, Cedar Hill area, so I'm kind of familiar with that. But we talked off camera about how you got the name Kmpsr.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to your frat.
Yeah, what's up, man? This is a composer, Fall 11 Trade Club, New Delta chapter, Emory University, Southeast Province. What's up, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yo to the news, bro.
What's going on, news? What's going on, frat? First of all, there we go. Alpha. But when we had that conversation before we first met, I know you were dealing with music. You were actually working in schools and stuff like that, doing music with kids. How was that experience? Because overall, it's always great to give back.
Right.
And just be around young minds and young personalities. It keeps you young for a certain. I know for a fact in my job, it keeps me young. How would you kind of explain just the things you have?
It's a lot to explain. It's 4 years, like literally left college, came straight into teaching. I did not study teaching or education when I was in college. I studied straight music, composition, or trumpet performance. That was it. So I had to learn how to teach kids something I already knew because you have to teach on their level.
Right.
And they really don't know anything unless their parents have exposed them to it. You know? So I had to figure out how to communicate with them. But you also kind of learn what they're hearing. And they're hearing the same stuff we're hearing, bro.
Sure,
they're literally the same stuff.
And the thing is, they're more engulfed in more things because, dog, I'm hearing now these kids are like 8, 9 got cell phones. I thought about when did I get my first cell phone? I probably was 13, 14.
Yeah.
And they're getting them at such a young age that they're around everything we're around. It's not nothing they're surprised about.
They don't know. They can't process certain things. They can repeat things and they can kind of conceptualize things depending on what they've been exposed to.
Gotcha.
But overall, I had to really introduce them to everything. Like, oh, this is a trumpet. This is a violin. Like, you'd be surprised how many kids don't know that stuff.
Seriously. I played the saxophone when I was in high school, but how did you get to playing the trumpet? Like, I know everybody goes through that phase when they pick their instrument.
Yeah.
How did the trumpet become your instrument?
thing, so 6th grade, beginner band up at North Hills Prep, where I went to school in Irving. It's that little charter school and uplift education. And I wanted to play saxophone, actually.
See, I love that. It's
saxophone, yeah.
Man.
Like, my parents listen to a lot of smooth jazz, Kenny G, Dave Cause. We're actually going to a concert tomorrow night. That's as a family. A little bit, because I haven't seen that in years. We grew up on, remember 107.5?
My dad, he only listened to jazz, and I can remember that intro, like 107.5 DOS.
And he be talking all smooth at night, bro. So, like, even though I was growing up with, like, hip-hop and pop and whatever people listen to at school on the radio during that time, like my parents' music, like most kids, you know, but I always just wanted to play saxophone. But when I got into band class, my band director looked at my teeth and he was like, oh, they're flat. You need to have a trumpet mouthpiece.
Damn, coach.
Hey, but it all worked out, though, man. It all worked out, honestly. I love the brass family. I love trumpet. I don't play anywhere as much now that I'm making beats and working in the studio and whatnot. But it's crazy how that one thing is what got me into college, which got me into beat making, which got me into drum.
Definitely understand that one, man. But other than brass instruments, like, were there any like personal musical influences that you had growing up? Who were some of those?
So, trying to think of like where to start with that, because with trumpet playing, I already had the whole orchestra and jazz thing going, and that's a whole different conversation. I have my list of favorite composers, I have my list of favorite jazz musicians, but I grew up in the 2000s, like like I'm still here, like.
Because the thing is, I don't know how I got to this album, but I remember I listened to 50 Cent's "Get Rich or Die Trying." Just thinking about back then, how much of an impact, like just from 50 Cent to Kanye when Kanye was Kanye, just to. I'm not even stunned. When we had 106 in Park and Bow Wow was #1 for about say 2 or 3 months.
Bro, Lloyd and Lil Wayne, I was up at my part-time right now, bro, and they were playing the Lil Wayne joint that she's fine to I was like, bro, that was on 106 in Park for like weeks.
It's crazy how much just back then we were so like, not just talking about BET in general, but just with TV. They showcased a lot for musicians and musically. Like the award shows were a big thing.
Huge thing.
Like now, like we had TRL, we had 106 in Park, we had Rap City in the Basement. We had so many different shows that catered to our musical needs. And now, I mean, you have things changing with, because we have Tidal, Apple Music, everything's so accessible, even on YouTube. But it seems like the TV world has changed from at least feeding us musically.
Oh yeah,
from a certain extent,
but it's not the same, bro.
Okay, so back in those 2000s, who were some artists that you just really appreciated and like listening to?
T.I., bro.
Nah, seriously, what was it?
King was my favorite album.
The King was. He didn't come out with T.I. for T.I.P. until later on.
It was later on, yeah. It was a little later than that, but King, I loved. That was like what, 8th grade maybe. Ludacris. Kanye, obviously. Yeah. But then about 9th grade, I finally hit that age where I started downloading music illegally. You know what I'm saying?
We all did. Shout out to LimeWire. What else? I had it all. Like, LimeWire, we were literally, I thought I was just so much illegal. Like, I remember I probably had like 60 songs downloaded at once. I was ready to go.
And just like go outside and like go hang out and come back in. You got a whole album.
We had a whole MP3 player. That's when we really making.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good thing. So I had a band in 8th grade. It was me, a few friends of mine. We had a keyboard player, bass player, guitar player, drum player, and we won our talent show at school because we made an original song. That was our first song we ever wrote. Wow. My first song I ever wrote, and I played trumpet. It wasn't smooth jazz, but we were trying to emulate it, but so. But we won MP3 players, so that was the first time I could actually go online. I don't have to go sneak to my parents, CD collection for the uncut CDs, or
rip it.
Or my mom would buy me Walmart CDs, so I had Snoop Dogg's Rhythm and Gangsta, like the edited version. I had
the clean, the hella clean.
And sometimes you can still fill in the blanks, but and around that time was when Houston had their big bubble with like Slim Thug, Paul Wall, Mike Jones. So I was downloading like all that Houston stuff that was coming out, and around the same time, that's when I went back to the 90s, like, Jay-Z's hard.
No, seriously.
Nas is hard. Bro, Big is hard.
But the thing is crazy, I didn't really find out about Tupac even and Biggie until like maybe high school.
Like really take them seriously. The name.
Because the thing is, like, when I was that age, like, what, Tupac died.
Or like 7, or like I was less than that, 5. Maybe.
I was probably, I was born in 92.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
5.
I was just now beginning to like the Cowboys at that young, and I'm a Cowboy fan. But when it came to music, like I wasn't that in touch with it because I didn't grow up listening to that. My parents didn't grow up listening to it.
Okay.
My mom was heavy in gospel and jazz. My dad was just overall jazz. So that wasn't just a genre I was able to grow up off of.
I got you.
But when I got into high school, I was able to dibble and dabble with even LimeWire. Like I was just like, man, I'm able to have all of this at the grasp of my hands. I can literally do whatever I want with it. So I really appreciated that. But going forward, we talked about it a little bit. Your sound.
My sound.
After hearing Heartbreak Suite, me personally, I have felt on some songs I got a Cudi vibe. To where it felt like not just happy music, but I'm like, bro, this beat is real. Has a strong melody, has a strong like wave ride. Seriously, like, how would you describe your sound personally?
Definitely Kid Cudi meets hopefully 40. Meets Pharrell. Like right them little Kanye moments. I'm not really, I definitely am a huge Cudi fan. Definitely a huge Pharrell fan. And 40's production is some of my favorite production I've ever heard.
No, seriously, because I could tell, like, and I told you also, from the start of the album to the end of the album, I've heard a lot of albums and mixtapes and just even EPs where the songs were just off. It seemed like one song you're over here, another song you're down here, right here you're in the middle. Mm-hmm. But everything in this album flowed from the check in to even the check out. Okay. I'm not gonna tell too much. I need you guys to go and stream it and go check it out.
Opus 3.
But like with the work that you worked with your team and stuff like that, how are you guys able to put together a project that would just flow so effortlessly?
So this is basically what happened. Trying to think of the short way to tell you this.
Gotcha. But if it take a long time, hey, we here.
I would say I had the oldest verse and beat on there is No Love. Mm-hmm. I wrote that my last semester in college. Okay. So, and I made the beat because that's when I started making beats. I had it on my laptop finally. So I made that beat on Logic back in 2014 and wrote that verse. And that song just sat in my vault for a long time. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Didn't know if I was going to sell the beat. Didn't know what I was a different artist name at that time too. So
what'd you go by?
I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember. No, you know what? No. I did go by the Composer, and then I switched it to my middle name Jarrell for a little bit, and then I went back to the Composer, but spelled it Kmpsr instead.
Gotcha.
There was another band that actually goes by the Composer. I was like, I kind of figure out a different way to do this. But so then Nobody was made during. I wrote it and made the beat during Floyd Mayweather weekend. Mm-hmm. When that whole fight happened, that whole thing is illustrating a story. Like all these songs are different stories, basically. Mm-hmm. And from there, and seeing the success of that to, I think just watching how it carried over and everything. Mm-hmm. During winter break when I was still teaching, I sat in my room and just started writing down stories about, okay, what has happened between now and high school? Who have I had a fling with? What happened? And I just started taking adjectives, bro, and started taking just memories and just blended it in. So each song is about a different situation from, in terms of the sensory details from me, but I still wanted it for people to relate to.
Understood.
So once I got those songs together, my homie Eli at the studio, shout out to the recording, by the way, he recorded everything except Nobody. He recorded everything, and we had a few revisits and everything. We recorded everything, then we paid for mix sessions, took care of that. Then our boss, Tyser Whaley's platinum, knows
what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing.
Definitely.
He went ahead and he's going to do the mastering job, which basically makes sure that each track has the same volume across and it's smooth. But I got to choose where the transitions were. I actually sat down and skill set to go in there and literally decide how much space do I want, how do I want it to transition. And I had to sit on 2 or 3 masters based off of the order of the songs. Mm-hmm. I had to figure out a way to how do I get people from check in to check out the right way. And it seems like that was a successful.
And I just saw a lot of creativity that you had in it because one, I remember in one of the tracks you mentioned, you said you don't know what this is? It's J-pop.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about this.
So we never really, when you said Kid Cudi, I was like, man, there was actually a whole other wave of influences around that time. And that school came up. Wiz Khalifa, Kid Cudi, Drake, Big Sean, Mac Miller. Mm-hmm. That was all my college experience right there.
There's a lot of mine too. Just some names you just said.
Man, it's crazy how that works. How I have the people I grew up with, and then there's a whole switch to the whole mumble rap switch going on right now.
Right.
But I was in Atlanta, so I was there when Migos popped off, Future popped off, Thugger popped off. I was actually there, going to the clubs and stuff, just hanging out, being a college kid. But I got to experience that culture, So I say if you want to pick an album that really inspired me to go ahead and go through with it, Future Hendrix, how he, bro. That was a tough album.
To be honest, yes, it was because. What was the other tape that he dropped along with Future Hendrix?
So he had Future the first week, which was all his trap hard stuff, and Hendrix was his straight for the women stuff.
Because to be honest, that's when the first track was Collection. I was like, because to be honest, I like that one more than I like the trap beats. Because it showed Future in a different light. And to be honest, it's from Collection, I'm like, bro, just continue to ride.
Kept going.
Because to be honest, the first one, it was your first 4 songs go hard, and after that, I don't want to listen to it anymore.
I mean, that's me with trap music in general, bro. I can only be at such a tempo for so long, so I feel like crafting a trap project is an art within itself. If you can get it from track 1 to the end, there's not a lot. Huncho Jack did that for me.
He did.
I like Huncho
Jack. And I like Huncho Jack because, to be honest, people still don't. I honestly believe that sometimes they don't give Travis Scott enough credit. And to be honest, hey, if you guys haven't, go check out Astro World.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna be. Hey, go check out all the new music that came out.
Mac
Travis Scott, YG,
Yeah.
Mac Miller, her even dropped a mixtape. Go check it all out. There's a lot of good music out here today. But even with you being in Atlanta, like how did you what did you learn just from the music scene, just being in that culture? Because it's a fully different culture.
I was there for a music degree, so when people were talking about, oh, I got science classes, I was worried about like music theory. I'm worried about like I gotta perform in front of these professors at the end of the semester, you know. So I was spending most of my hours doing that, but when it comes to like, you know, frat life and everything, it was all hip hop. It was all this party music and stuff. So it was just cool like to see how like putting that type of music on in a party and how it can set everyone off depending on what's going on. I just found that so interesting. So I know that from the reviews of my album, people loved how it was real music and everything, but they did feel that, you know, they want to hear that raw like hip hop too, you know. There's a project that's going to be out, you know, but I felt like it's all about like I just wanted the concept album. So I wouldn't say that the trap stuff necessarily influenced Heartbreak Suite directly, but it definitely, there's trap symbols. It's the sound.
And you can hear it because I just feel like with fashion, music is timeless. You can go back and add something to something that's very current and it'll sound good and it'll gel, or you can keep it all current with stuff like that. But I just like how your music, not only that it flowed, but you had so many different elements to it. From the actual instrument to some of the beats that you made and some of the trap that you had in it. And just, even when the interludes in the outros, they fit. Like, I'll catch one where intro, hey, welcome here. And by the middle of the track or by the middle of the album, it's like, bro, how did we even get here?
Yeah.
Like, literally, how did we get from being right here in Dallas, Texas, to where I feel like I'm in Spain? Like, I don't get it.
Dang. You said, is that a bad thing? Yes.
I'll say it like this. Yes
and
and no. Because the thing is, I understand you can't, I don't like to ever stop somebody's creative vision. But it's like, come on, you gotta at least keep me on the story. Okay. You know how many movies that people stop watching because like, bro, where is this going?
Hey, yeah, that's a whole other topic too. I'll start rambling. But to answer your J-pop question, man, during that whole downloading file thing, I was a big anime person growing up, and I stopped for a little bit and actually got into the music from like the opening theme songs and the ending theme songs. And from there, it led me to a whole another world. Like, dang, they have pop music in different languages, you know? And like, I never, outside of, you know, the classical music, ever even thought about like what's going on in Latin America, what's going on in Japan, what's going on in South Korea, you know, Bollywood. So I take great interest in pop music, popular music that comes from other countries and stuff. So this from like going from artists that have the song at the end of Dragon Ball Z or whatever's on Toonami. I just go look it up on the internet and you start clicking links and it leads you one place to another, bro. Next thing you're in, you know.
And that's all it takes.
You know, and that's why I was like, I started that in high school. You know, you never heard it. I knew she never heard it. You know what I'm saying?
You came across it. All you did some searching. That's all it took.
Yeah, and actually became fans of some of these artists. You know, and you notice they have a very jazzy production. And there's like in Japan in particular, I noticed they still use a lot of like R&B chords for real. South Korea is very much kind of like America. They just do it in Korean basically, and they have their own elements, a lot more like dance, EDM going on. But really, I just felt like, why would you want to just be doing what everyone else is doing, listen to what everyone else is doing? Like, go check out other things that can influence you, because if everyone's listening to this, and they're, like I said, the subconscious mind is absorbing it, and it's naturally going to put out stuff influenced by that, like, step out of the box a little bit and come back with something fresh, you know? So I challenge all producers and artists to listen to music that's not in your language, not in your culture, you know? Like, you can't lose. It's weird. Like, I wouldn't be, like, in an Uber drive, like, check this out.
You wouldn't be on some stuff like, hey,
I have learned that music is functional and for social reasons. Like, there's certain music you listen to at church for church. It serves that purpose.
Right.
And there's certain music for strip clubs that serves that
purpose.
You know? So you just gotta have to fill the situation out. But if I'm just alone driving by myself, or if I'm just on Spotify, like, just check out different stuff.
And sometimes that's when you're in your creative space. Like, and when you're in your creative space, you don't. you got to be able to kind of push that element, get out of your comfort zone so you can see what it is that you really like and kind of figure those things out, because you got some people who stick in their vibes, in their personal bubble, and they're like, you know what, I'm not stepping outside of it, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it kind of makes things stagnant, because you're going to be in that same bubble and going in that same circle. You're not making any left or right turns, you just continue in that circle.
Yeah.
But overall, I see like you've worked on Heartbreak Suite for a minute. Like, how long do you think it took you guys to put the entire project together?
But once I actually said I'm making the Heartbreak Suite, even though I had a few songs already ready for it, because I had like 2-3 other projects before that were supposed to happen with other people. Really, just this year, man. If you really want to say Heartbreak Suite #1 is on, like, let's make a whole agenda for it. Let's start projecting dates. January.
Okay.
You know, and then that's when I just started actually just focusing on that.
Okay.
Some songs didn't make the cut, you know.
How many songs do you think overall that you just made that could have possibly been on the project?
Oh, that could have been on the project?
That could have possibly been on the project.
So, well, like, with the whole concept of the album, there might have been 3, 4, 5 songs that I recorded that didn't make it. And there's other songs that I wrote that did not even get recorded. It's just some stories I wasn't able to put into like song form, you know.
Now that we have artists like Yellow BZ and Lil Ronnie and these names that are actually kind of propelling things forward, it's making kind of the outlet and the door. It's making people really want to break down that door even more.
Yeah, there are artists.
It's a lot of hungry artists out
There's
there.
a lot of hungry Bobby Sessions as well.
Yes,
So.
shout out to Bobby. The thing is, I respect Bobby a lot, not only just for going his way with Def Jam, but just the music that he puts out. It's originally him. It's all him. It's about him and his experiences, and he's not going to begin to rap about. I've seen a lot of artists, and I've even hate to say, but come across people who've asked me for interviews and they're not really engulfed in the music like they're supposed to. It may just be a money-making factor. But I appreciate people who actually get out here and make true music.
Yeah.
That's about them and their upbringing, what they've been through, and not kind of copy and pasting music and just being like, here we go.
Kind of acting, though, right?
Basically.
You know? But like I said, the environment there is a certain aspect of what I'm learning about the artist's life that's literally all camera stuff. It's all just like some people got it, some people don't. But it is something you can develop. I do believe that. I don't think some people believe that, but I think like the music teacher in me with all the students, I feel like you can always develop something.
Yeah, that's anything. Because if you put the work in, like, hey, the production's going to definitely show. Like, you're going to have to see it because you're putting the work in. If you're not, you can't just hiccup and be like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. You really got to grow into it, man.
Definitely, man.
So.
But last question before we get up out of here. From where you were when you first started music and now, what do you think that you've learned about yourself just from dealing with the trials and tribulations that you've come through?
I can't let music go. So even with like the job I'm at right now with retail, it's a cycling studio on Harlan Park.
Gotcha.
It's all like playlist based. Instructors are writing to music and their whole workouts based off of the playlist they make. Like even though I'm not dealing with it directly, like I gotta be around something like that, or like the studio, or if I am teaching it's music, like I cannot.
You can't let it go.
Not because I can't. It's just I don't feel right. I feel almost like I'm lying to myself. You know.
Trust me, that would be me saying letting sports go all together. Like, I don't know. Like I can't let it go. Like it's something I've been raised in and engulfed in. It doesn't feel right me going today and not looking at ESPN.
So first thing you said when you turned 5 was Cowboys. I'm like, bro, I didn't think about sports for so long, bro.
I had like a Cowboys cover when I was like 3, and I was like, oh,
wow,
what is this, bro? So like literally, I've been deep into.
That's crazy, bro. Because I played basketball from age 6 to when I got to junior high. I finally had to try out for a team and didn't make it, so I had to stop. I played junior and did that. I
played flag football growing up. Wanted to switch to tackle, had bad knees, so I got into basketball, loved it, got hurt, and I don't know, I let some pride get in the way. I had a coach tell me, you can't work, you make money, you gotta play basketball. I like shoes too, so I'm trying to go make this money. But at the end of the day, we all learn, we all got somewhere, and we'll definitely continue to go.
Oh yeah, especially out here. Like I said, Metroplex has a lot of opportunity, man, and I'm not gonna sleep on that.
Seriously.
I do want to move to LA one day because that's just a thing.
That's definitely a hub that you can definitely get things going in. But the thing is, rubbing those shoulders and networking with those main people, you can definitely get things going.
Yeah, I've actually going out there next week to visit family, but I need to make it. So
Nah, seriously, man, make it a business trip too.
I mean, especially with Big Shot, I feel like Big Shot needs to make it to LA. I don't know what events I need to go to.
Bring it with you. Keep it. Have flash drives ready, man. You definitely can.
That's a good idea, actually. I didn't even think about that.
Seriously.
Good idea.
But guys, I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with the Walker Review. We have many more interviews coming forward. Hey, make sure you follow this guy. Check out not only Heartbreak Suites, but Big Shot. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be wrong, okay? Make sure we have his social media info on this so you guys can follow him as well. And make sure you guys continue to stay tuned and follow the Walker Review.